I'm Will Rogers, a member of the Burbank City Council, and at least until they figure it out, I'm mayor. So this is the Mayor's Show, and today we're at the intersection of Burbank Boulevard and California Street, and we're visiting a business called the La Providencia. Excuse me. Could you come here and help me? This is Judy Pierce. What exactly is the name of this store?
La Providencia Guild of Children's Hospital, Los Angeles Thrift Shop.
That's exactly what I was saying, right? All right, now I want to tell you, if you don't know already, I live 2 blocks away down here, and I come by frequently. And what first caught my attention years ago was your windows designs. First of all, how frequently they change, and then when you get out and come up and look at them, how detailed they are. Right now it's in December. Folks will be seeing this though well after that, but on by your own record, by December 26th, there'll be a group here to change it over to the next.
Right.
Okay. And I know the day after Thanksgiving, the same thing. You also handle seasons and the like.
Right.
And it does something for this neighborhood. Well, first of all, we don't have that many display windows stores. We have a lot of small businesses. They're all welcome here, but we don't have a retail outlet like this that puts this kind of attention into window design in front. I think it's an enormous contribution to the neighborhood. I have to assume the neighbors approve.
They walk by regularly and check the windows and come in and tell us how much they appreciate the windows, and that's so nice to hear.
You had an old bathtub that we would see frequently.
Red bathtub.
Yes. Is it still around?
It's still around. It's in storage.
Okay, so we may see it again.
You may.
All right. I'm going to ask you to join me in stepping back, and we'll just capture this window here, then go inside, look at some of what you've done inside and what you have available and the like, okay? All right, now we're inside the Guild's shop, and again, since folks will be seeing this well into the future, yes, right now it's December, but they might be seeing this in February and March after that. So I just want folks out there to keep this in mind as we look. You're not, if you're seeing this in February and you're going to come down here, you're not going to see a shop full of Christmas decorations. It's not like my house, where in July you can come in and still make your judgments on my tree. Okay? Now, what's this area generally?
This area is generally where we have our furniture. Right at the moment, we only have 2 tables and a few little things, but we are expecting a grand piano, a baby grand.
Really?
Yeah. And we have couches and chairs and armoires, and there's a beautiful curio cabinet over in the corner, hiding.
Oh, and you're also a salesperson here, aren't you?
Well, I
can
try.
tell. And today we want to move the curio cabinet. It'll be gone by the time you see this, probably, but come down and check anyway. We'll get a cutaway shot of that later. Would you join me walking down here?
Okay.
All right. And over here we have, we're starting with a lot more clothes, but we've also got Christmas cards. Oh, remind me to check those out before I leave today, okay?
The price is right.
Yeah, exactly. And Christmas cards from the Finkelsteins. That's a collector's item, I think. All right. And over here, just the other side, obviously, of what we were seeing a short time ago. Let me ask you about, Pardon me, I got to reach to a swan without inadvertently buying something. Oh, see.
It's an angel.
See, I saw the wings and I thought it was a swan. If you know the old opera joke, they were doing Swan Lake, and couples are being picked up by rolling swans as they're picked up around the stage, and something went wrong with the swans, and they broke down, and they stopped passing in front of the actors and dancers who were waiting for them. And a man steps up on his cue to get into the swan. There is no swan. He turns to a dancer and he says, "Do you know what time is the next swan?" So anyway, from behind, I thought this was a swan. This is an angel. Does something like this sit here month after month, year after year, or does it move pretty quickly?
If it doesn't move pretty quickly, we mark it down.
And that'll do it?
And yes, and generally it does, yes.
And then my wife comes by. Okay, we've looked at the angels and the ornaments and such, the more seasonal stuff on this table. Where should I go next if I'm wandering around looking for my deals?
Well, we have ladies' dresses here, and then the men's department is always very much smaller because we don't get as many men's clothes as we do ladies. But
now, what do you think they're doing with their clothes rather than passing them on?
I think they wear them and wear them like my husband.
Exactly. This is my good shirt. Yeah, this is my favorite shirt.
Correct.
And the other one is I might paint something someday. So I got to save that for painting.
That's right.
Okay. But I know you have marvelous deals on women's clothing.
We do.
Because my wife will come home with a bag just ecstatic and telling me, this is Donna Karan, and it was all the rage last season, and they have it there, and it was only $70, and it started out at, if it's $70 here, it started out as probably
$500.
Okay, I was going to go higher and say 1,000 or more, but you know the business, I don't. And do the ladies' clothes, do they move fast?
They do. We get a lot of designer clothes. We just got a whole shipment of designer clothes. They're up in front. But this is dresses and skirts and suits, and then the men's, as I said, the men's clothes are back there. Then we have shoes and books and...
Now, I'm looking for a good men's, like, car coat, walking coat, something to go over a suit or sport coat for, again, I don't know when the audience is watching this, but today, yesterday, in the near future, it's chilly and windy in Burbank. So I need to go to things wearing my suit or sport coat, but I want an overcoat too. So are you going to be able to help me?
We'd have to look. We had a whole rack of beautiful men's coats. Most of them are sold because I put them out in early November in spite of the 106
Oh
degree
yeah,
temperature.
what did you know?
That's right.
Crazy
Anyway,
like a fox.
men's suits and jackets are over there, and these are all short shirts.
Okay. By the way, how long have you been here?
December 1st was our 10th anniversary.
No kidding.
Right. We moved in December 2007.
And it's the parent organization that just had its 70th?
That's correct.
Okay.
La Providencia Guild
Right.
had just had its 70th anniversary. Yeah.
Okay, you've showed me where the men's coats are. We've talked about some of your ladies' clothing, including the designer setup. If you can come over here. Oh, see now, if I took those home, well, boy, wouldn't my wife be surprised. Okay. Could I get you to tell me a little bit more about how this works? Where do you get the clothes from? And what are you doing then with the money?
Everything that comes into this store is donated. We have one paid employee. All of our profits go to Children's Hospital. Our current project is liver and kidney research, I believe, and I have it written down, but I can't remember.
Oh, that's okay, but keep it up. I need that liver research myself, so.
Anyway, all of our profits go to the hospital, everything we make. So, and we're all volunteers.
Now, you didn't change to that specialty or focus just because you heard I was coming in.
No.
You weren't working on something else?
I
Okay.
wasn't.
That would have been so neat. But no, that wasn't it. Just coincidence. Oh, well. You say the money then goes right on to the hospital?
To Children's Hospital.
Okay.
We have a different project. They have a project for us that we raise money for, and then when that project is funded, then we get a new project, and we raise money for that. Other projects have been, we did an endowment for nursing education several years ago. We've done a fundraiser to do research on the long-term effects of cancer treatments on children, so they're looking at them as adults now, seeing what the difference is, seeing what's happened and what they can do. So every couple of years we have a new project that we raise money for.
I'll tell you, they're a lot tougher, and they're a lot more optimistic than people would ever think. And I'm talking about kids who've survived cancers, because they just get a grip on what's important and what priorities are very early on.
Yes.
Okay. And by the way, are there any other La Providencia Guild shops?
No, there are 24 guilds that raise money for Children's Hospital, and only one other one has a thrift shop, and that's the South Bay Guild, and their shop is in Redondo Beach. But every other guild does some different thing to raise money.
You mentioned one paid employee, and well, there were other people here helping customers. What are those supposed to be? Volunteers?
We are all volunteers. We have one group of women who are called actives, and we're the ones that are in charge, and that's the governing board. And then we have a group of about 75 or 80 ladies that are associates, and they are the worker bees. Of course, they help with a lot of other things too, but they're the ones that basically run the floor on the thrift shop. They do the selling and the stocking and keeping it organized.
Now, if I'm a Burbank resident and I want to contribute, I want to help, other than coming in and shopping here, I want to volunteer, what should I be doing?
You need to be a member of the guild, and we would be happy to have you be a member of the guild.
So after all these years, I can finally be a member of the Lollipop Guild.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Is there a Lollipop Guild?
I thought you said La Prov.
La Prov. All right, let's get back to looking around at what you have.
Okay. We have, this is our media center. We have books, cookbooks, tons of CDs, DVDs, cookbooks, I said that, library. Over here is housewares, housewares and small appliances.
Now, you know, I'm so disappointed. I gave this to Dan.
You did?
Yes, I gave this to Dan, and he told me he would treasure it always. And Dan has, I'm glad he donated it to a good cause, but he's off my Christmas card list. My Christmas cards from the Finkelsteins this year. Yes. All right. Anything else? But I did notice No VCRs. I have VHS tapes. No.
You know what? Nobody has a VHS player anymore. We get very, very little call for that, so they get recycled.
Well, so if I donate my entire collection to you, which is several hundred.
And very valuable and very precious.
But. That's okay. I can take the bad news. Oh, and look at this. Let's see if I can get it down one-handed. I did. You see, this is just heartbreaking because I gave this to Javalia as a gift, and here it is, also donated. And you're asking more for it than Dan's mug, which, well, at least that's correct. I'm glad to see that. All right, here we have a 16-piece as-is a set of dinner plates.
Yes.
And then there's a note that this 16-piece set, unfortunately, only has 15.
15? No, 15 plates and one mug.
Does the mug
16.
say Dan on it?
Probably not.
Okay. Okay, we're here in the toy corner, and it appears to be a bit of slim pickings, and presumably that's in part due to Christmas coming up.
We had a huge donation of toys in October, about 4 vanfuls. And so we have been selling them as fast as we can at a very, very reasonable prices. So a lot of them are gone, yes.
Okay, they moved along quickly.
They moved along.
Let's see, what have we got here? Oh, a genie outfit. Okay. Well, I can see right off the bat it's too small for me. I already have a pink stuffed bear. These are cool. I like the, is this remote control? That one might be, this one is not.
This one I think is.
Yeah, this is old school. This is, right. Not that I've done that in years and years. Not for, this week. I haven't done it this week. But I have quite a toy collection myself. So maybe you'll see that along with, I'm still not giving up my shirts and my coats and such because I might paint.
You might need them.
Yes. Well, what about your donors? How do they find you?
I know that the leader has a little blurb in the paper every week about our Wednesday senior discount day. Mm-hmm. And the Daily News has also done regular, not articles, but little ads, things, you know, they have a
calendar items when you.
Right. I know that people call Children's Hospital and ask where they can, if Children's Hospital can take the things, and of course they can't because everything has to be brand new.
It's a hospital.
It's a hospital, yes. Everything has to be clean and sterile. So we get a lot of donations that are referred to us from the hospital.
And so if I pull up, and I'm going to donate something, what should I be doing? Where do I go? Who do I talk to?
We have a parking place in the backyard. We have 2 parking places. One is strictly for donors, and our young lady who is our paid employee will help you unload and bring the things in and write you a receipt.
Okay. Thank you for that information because so it has to be brought in during business hours, though. Right. Well, you don't have a drop box.
No,
and I imagine, given my experience over the years with BTAC, where I worked for a very long time, you probably often come back on a Monday morning and there's a pile of stuff.
Every morning.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And is that helpful or not when people do it that way?
Sometimes they leave very nice things. Very often, the bags have been gone through before we even get here. Things disappear very quickly from the backyard, from the parking place. So it's really not a good idea to leave things there, but people bring them and they don't want to wait or they don't want to come back, so they just leave them.
So do you recall some of the more spectacular donations, something you you were telling me before that you're looking for a baby grand that's coming in shortly.
Right.
Now, I would think that would, have people going pretty well just talking about it. Any others like that on the way?
We have gotten some beautiful furniture over the years, and that sells very well. And of course, the designer clothes that we get. The Pasadena Guild has a once-a-year sale, and after they do it for one weekend, and after they're done with their big 3-day sale, then we get their designer clothes and a lot of the artwork and knickknacks and things like that.
Really?
that are very, very nice, because of course Pasadena and San Marino and all those areas are a little more upscale perhaps than Burbank.
And how is it, by the way, if you played any role in it, or at least if you stood by the side and watched, how is it you came up here to Burbank Boulevard instead of what one might assume to find you somewhere on Magnolia?
We were on Magnolia for probably 25 years. And
I did not know that.
yeah, and but then the rent quadrupled. And at that time, we decided if we were going to quadruple the rent, maybe we should find another location. And so we did that in 2007. So, as I said, we've been here for 10 years.
Right. And I have to tell you, it seems longer to me than that, because it really is such a tradition certainly among my family and our friends, because I live right down on Pepper Street, which is 3 blocks from here, and that's to come by and see these windows. And I would just hate to lose you to Magnolia Boulevard. That's all, because I think you do so much for this neighborhood.
Well, thank you.
It livens it up. It has people moving, so it seems to be working.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, I've just been captivated under lingerie. We have this, and while it looks very comfortable to me, you see, I just couldn't answer the door. I doubt I could answer the phone. But it is funny also to see it under the lingerie sign. Oh, here's an old familiar favorite, the classic moo-moo.
That's right.
If yours is wearing a little thin, or if you're thinking of tossing it into the painting pile, here's where you can find your replacement. In fact, I see there are a couple to choose from, and after that, we get into things I'm not permitted to take off the racks and look at. I also have heard commendations for your hats, that you have a good collection of at least women's hats. Have you got a men's stovepipe hat, maybe?
No, we don't.
I'm still looking for that. Maybe I'll find it before I leave the mayor's office. All right, let's move on this way a little bit and take a look at some more. And now we're back here at least for this month, what must be called Santa's Workshop.
It's just our workroom.
Okay. You don't like jokes about the workroom then, right? And what happens in here?
Well, the donations come in the back door, and they get stacked on the floor there. We try and keep the stairs clean. We sort them, as you can see. These are clothes that have the mountain of clothes that has been sorted. We are very selective with what we put out on the floor. We don't put out anything that's ripped or dirty or torn or too outdated. So this needs to be, after it's sorted, then it gets hung and priced and sized and tagged. And then it goes out on the floor.
Out on the floor where there's a space for that category.
Right.
Okay.
Over on the shelves, we have seasonal bins. You can see one that says St. Patrick's Day and Halloween.
Right.
And there's also Easter and other, 4th of July is over there also, but it's buried. That we put that in storage for till the time comes. We had 63 bins of Christmas items in storage that we have just emptied, and most of it's still out there. I mean, no, it isn't, because it's been out since November, so it's mostly gone.
So it's been selling.
It's been selling, right.
Okay. And over here.
These are the clothes that are sorted. This is the stuff that needs to be priced.
Okay. And how do you do your pricing? How do you figure out? Is there one person in charge of it? Are there three?
Well, it's the active of the day who does the pricing, but it's often it's a committee decision very often. What do you think this will sell for? Do you think 10 is too much? No, 15, or no, 8, or so.
Does it get into nasty battles? People calling one another names?
No.
Pushing one another around? No?
No.
I just imagined it would be like a council meeting. So
no.
Okay. You're not short on hangers. What are you? Is there anything you're short on? If you could go out and find a big box from donors in back, what would be great to have inside that box, other than cash, and no 2 more wishes or anything like that?
I have to say, we have so much of everything. We are so blessed with our donations that I can't say that there's anything we need. We always have lots of clothes and lots of housewares and lots of toys and lots of small appliances and lots of shoes and purses and hats. We get a very eclectic bunch of stuff.
A woman who's satisfied with everything she has and is grateful for it. So I can't complain about that or poke fun at you. Let me see. Oh, and then your security system. Is shoplifting a problem here?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Or people pull price tags off.
No.
Yes, they do. They do.
Okay.
Oh, this isn't priced. Must be $5 a bag. It must be.
It was
$5.
next to something that was
Yes.
$3, so it should be $3.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'll see if I can try that later and get away with it. All right. Okay, now we started at the windows, but we really didn't cover them much. They're right on the other side here, the window designs. How does that happen with who designs them and erects them and so forth?
We have a chairman of the month for the Thrift Shop, and it's the chairman of the month whose responsibility it is to put up the window and take it down at the end of the month. Some ladies are way more creative than others, and if they are less creative, like me, I don't do windows. We have lots of ladies that are very willing to help and very creative, and so they, at the beginning of the month, they put up the window, and near the end, they take it down. So every month, it's a new window.
And is it a new team each month?
It's a new team each month. That's right. It's Usually it's 3 or 4 people that get together and do the window.
Well, I hope you will relay word to all of the teams that this is certainly what got my attention, that a neighbor of the store appreciates the timely changes and the incredible creativity that goes into these windows. And so you want to look for some of the holiday themes. You don't want to come here in the middle of no theme. It can be a very nice design, but boy, they do things like Halloween, Christmas, Easter, just very well. And it seems to happen very fast. And what I really appreciate is how often it changes. And how quick you're never standing around on Valentine's Day wondering why do they still have a Christmas display up there.
Thank you.
Okay, and thank you for showing me around. I appreciate all your time. And for me, folks, that's going to be the end of this mayor's show. My name is Will Rogers, and don't let them tell you otherwise. I am mayor right now and scheduled to remain so through May. So they may pull me off before that. Let them try. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.